That's such a funny intro. The little guy who's holding
Grind
on the jet
my
at the end.
gears.
What?
People that are late. Like
Well,
we
where
were
are you, Sandy?
fixing to
I was over
go.
here waiting and ready to go
Joe and
live.
I were like, you know what? That pineapple is not showing up. Let's go take pictures of the supermoon.
There's a supermoon tonight?
Yes. Oh gosh. Okay, we're gonna need to like start a GoFundMe for your internet. Cause I have to like do fillers and say and okay until you come back. And what are you even eating? Like Cheetos? Hey Alex, how are you? Wait, oh, I thought you weren't available on Wednesdays. Why are you on here? Kate and I went to have dinner without you. And Jamie, you're still frozen. I mean, honestly, you should change your
I swear to God.
name. Hi, Anita. Good to see you. You need to
Hey,
say hi to
Anita.
Anita because her Facebook's been hacked, and that's not her in Ontario, Canada.
Oh, wait. So this right here is not Anita?
That's Anita.
No.
She's on YouTube, but I'm saying her Facebook.
I'm so sorry,
Oh,
Anita.
well, thanks for stopping in and
And you
saying
can't
hi.
get it?
No, she's done everything in her power to let Facebook know, like, hey, this is not me. I've tried to report it. Several of her friends have tried to report it, and Facebook's like, she's not violating anything. Like, bid, that's not her page.
Man.
It's so frustrating.
So, yeah, I've had a few friends in the last year who've gotten their Facebooks hacked, and most of them have been able to recover, but there's been one or two who haven't, and it's
add
terrible.
Anita to the count to been unable to recover because she is just.
Can we do anything for you, Anita, besides what's already been done? Do you want us to try to pull the pictures down and save them?
How would you do that? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's painful and hard, but it can be done just slow.
It's a pain in the butt, Anita.
It is. So I'm eating popcorn.
I know. I was like, what are you eating? Hot
I'm so
Cheetos?
starving. I haven't eaten.
I mean,
tonight.
why were you late, first of all?
So I had my show earlier, and then I went upstairs to lay down for a second, and I can remember I was watching YouTube or, whatever, and I remember throwing my phone on the floor. And I was asleep, but I was like, oh, I just threw my floor. I should get it. And I was like, I'm so tired. I'm going to just go ahead and let it slip off into the abyss.
And hope that you don't wake up and step on it.
And that's exactly what I did, to be honest with you. So the same stupid short has been replaying for 2.5 hours.
What is that?
I don't even remember. I just know it was playing because it was on repeat. And I looked at my phone when I picked it up, but I just hit, get out of it or whatever.
Oh, I see. So it wasn't something you were watching. It just what it landed on.
Yeah. And so I just, someone got 2.5 hours worth of free views from me tonight.
I bet that really boosted it.
They're like number one now in the world.
Trending. I know. Thanks to one sleepy viewer.
I'll tell you. And I was tired. Like I needed a nap, but I was hungry too. And so anyway, my wife I just saw.
Mr. Nap.
You're telling me.
Hi, Sean.
And so, but it was such a great show earlier today. And I was like, man, like the content was good. And I was, jiving with it. And it was just like, this is good stuff. So
Anita says, thanks, guys. Mr. Pineapples, I saw your weather storm video. It was crazy. We're going to talk about that.
That's what we were going to talk a little bit about tonight, because let me tell you, I had never seen anything like that. And you should go check out the video because it is wild. Like so it started the night out with me. What's going on? I was in the kitchen. I did the dishes. And I was just kind of wiping counters or whatever, right? Everyone was upstairs. So I started turning the lights out. And I noticed it looked a little funky in the front yard. I was like, what's over there? And I was like, wow. I thought there were sirens first. I thought it was like the blue sirens just going off. So then I go outside and I'm like, what's happening? And I was like, oh my God. And I could see my neighbors all were outside too. And I was just like, what's going on? And
you kind of did some white people stuff. You ran to it.
Well, It was it was right under the house. It was right. I mean, yeah. So I had a couple videos that I didn't post up beforehand where I was out there first and I was just like, what is up? And it was I could see my neighbors and all this stuff. And so then I kept looking up and I was like, it's bright over there. And I was like, you know what? I better catch this on Facebook Live instead. So just in case. Because that was freaky enough where I felt like there was something going on. And so I end the video, turn on Facebook, name it, get it started looking up, and we're like, okay. I was like, it looks like it's brighter in the backyard. So I go through the back of that. I go through the house and I look. We have like a all seasons room in the backyard. So I walked through there and I could see.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? All seasons room?
Yeah, it's like a little room in the back.
Put in the comments if y'all have an all seasons room in your house.
It's just instead of having like walls, or not even it's not an all season. I guess 3 seasons because you wouldn't stay out there during the winter. But there's no no walls. It's like a
3 season room.
What do you call it? Like a mesh.
Like rich enough to where you're just like extra space. Don't care if I use.
So I went through the room. I go outside of the backyard, and then that's where you see in the video, and I am like, but the video just it's spectacular, but the real life was just out of this world. It's out of this world crazy, and man.
So I saw different comments that it was an electrical storm. What's the difference in an electrical and a regular lightning storm?
I don't know. I need to look it up.
I thought you did. Oh my gosh.
No, I was going by what the news that some of the news or like people there. So I have a friend who's a weather whatever. So I was listening to her and some other people, but I'm telling you, like it just
I mean, just watching it seriously looked like it was it looked very alienish to me.
Yeah. Out of this world.
Yeah, totally.
I'm looking for it. I'm pulling it up because for people who didn't, I'm not gonna play the audio, but I mean, there's no music or anything like that. But
yeah, but it might be like, oh, this sounds a
something
lot
will come through
familiar. So anyway, there it is. Oh, let me go. Cade, come here. Cade, we were at band when you were sending these messages, and I was just
like, oh, that's right, because I called you first, Sandy. Because I was like, Sandy, I was trying to tell Joe and Sandy, okay, so there's 2 storms going on. There's one way back there on the bottom, and then the one right on top.
I mean, it seriously looks like a glitch in something.
Yes. So you can kind of tell there's a little circular motion or pattern right above the house. And
yes.
Jamie recorded this last Friday. It's this wind. It's like this lightning storm.
Mm-hmm. And there's sometimes where you can see it.
Crazy.
But
yeah, it looks
you can't.
Wow.
So there are moments where you can't see the lightning, but in person, you could see it pretty. I mean, it was clear, but the lightning would go in circles. It was just like continuous lightning in circles. Yeah. No lightning ever touched the ground.
It was all just like cloud to cloud lightning.
Yeah, but not even like that, Sandy. Like in cloud to cloud, you see straight lines or you see like a little cracking of the sky effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here, it was like Thor swinging his hammer and then lightning just following around it. That's what it looked like. But you can't see them all. But there were lightning that was just.
Yeah, I think the cumulonimbus cloud itself is just above it. It's just right overhead, and it's just passing through, creating all the electricity.
Oh, I gotcha. So, did you hear that theory?
I heard the cumulonimbus knucklehead.
Cumulonimbus.
And in the video, you don't pay attention. It's kind of like the background thing, right?
Yeah.
But there is thunder that is going on, but it's the constant hum in the video. That's the thunder continually going. Like it sounds like a train.
I mean, I would love to witness this firsthand. I think this would also make for like great photos.
I think you'd have, yeah. And so anyway, this thing just goes on for the whole. I
How
recorded
long
the
did you
video
stay
for a whole
live?
30 minutes total is how long I stayed live.
Oh my.
But there was later on in the video. Actually, we'll just fast forward it. I can do that. Later on in the video, the storm moves away. Just look at that. It's so crazy. The storm moves away from the house. So at this point right here, I can tell that the storm is moving north away from us.
Mhm.
And then there's another storm. Earlier in the video, when I said, can you see the storm at the bottom of the screen?
Yeah.
That storm catches up to us.
So it's like two storms fighting against each other?
I don't need. No, it didn't
Like
feel
it was a
like.
competition.
Maybe it was.
Like who could outlightning the other one?
The second one ends up going in a different direction, though. Yeah, see? So it's moving away from the house, but in the east.
Mm.
And nothing to the west, nothing to the south.
All to the north.
And yeah, so then it goes away. That's the east. But it certainly was crazy.
Can you imagine what you missed prior to getting out there?
I wondered, and I didn't ask my neighbors to see what they had, but the whole town was talking about it all weekend, actually.
Was it all over the Nextdoor app?
No, in person. So
Oh,
I went to Sam's and I was in Uptown. Oh, we had a corn festival and people were just all talking. Everyone was like,
yeah, or like the viejitos. How about that Werner over there? How about that London show?
Basically, that's how it was. And I just kid, like it's just freaky thinking back on it. Like it was just wild. It was just completely nuts.
I wonder if that's one of those like once in a lifetime opportunity type events.
40 some odd years,
ASMR.
I've never seen a storm look like that in my life. That was the first time.
That's wild.
And it was just this right above us. Literally, it was like the thing was right above the house.
Well, I'm totes jelly.
You think so?
Yeah.
Why?
I would have been great pictures.
And I thought of y'all, but and so I called the news station too, and I talked to the news station because I was like, "You got to check this out." I was like, "Did y'all see the storm on Friday?" And they're like, "Oh, it was windy." Blah blah blah. I was like, "Well, go to Suds, go to the social distancing show, check out this page. Look over here." And she's looking. She goes, "Oh my, this is rather interesting." And I was like, "I know, right?" And she was like, "This is wild." So I don't know if they used. I was hoping I would hear something, but I didn't. But if they used it, they were gonna. She said that the meteorologist, he likes to. I don't know the frequency or whatever, but he likes to look at weather phenomenon and talk about it, like the science behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, if he uses it, let me know because I want to know what the science behind this is.
Right. That way we can educate our viewers.
Please
share that picture that Joe just sent. And he said, "Sorry, y'all."
Why did he say sorry?
Because he ain't coming. We gave you several minutes to come let us know if we were going to be on the show.
Jeez.
Now you see all those like, "Hey, hello," at Jamie. Toodaloo, kangaroo. So Joe's out shooting the moon. And I was actually.
Are you gonna go? Are you gonna go join him? We can make a short episode so you can go.
I wasn't gonna join him. I was just gonna be out here in my area.
How long when's the nice view of it or whatever?
I don't know.
So is that the moon or is that a sun?
That's the moon, bro. That's the blue moon rising. Anita's like, "Are you gonna do that or your show?" And I'm like, that little dictator Jamie. And we were trying to get a hold of you. You just ignored
Did y'all
us.
call me or just message me through Facebook?
We don't have your phone number. How inconvenient of you.
So this is like this kind of photo reminds me of when when people on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, like
Mhm.
they're showing themselves sad or crying and they're on their couches or whatever, and they mean it. And then I'm so dumb because I never think about it, and then I realize I'm like, wait a minute, someone's either taking that photo or video, or they're holding it in that weird
Oh.
position. I'm like, huh, that's what Joe looks like. He's here.
I've seen some weirdos that'll take pictures of themselves while they're like supposedly relaxing. And I'm like, no mames, well then who took the picture? Because if you captioned it, me and my wifey
Oh my gosh,
sleeping,
it's so right.
and who
Right.
the pinche perros in the picture?
Or when they're with a little turtle, or they're with their kid or something, and they're like after a long day's work, and you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh, pendejito.
Did you put a little tripod down and just put it on you for the whole night kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is a pretty picture, Joe. Where is it at? Do you know, Sandy?
No, that's what I was trying to see where he's at. I can't tell. There's a little water there. Let's see. What is Anita saying? Anita says, it definitely looked crazy. The Bible talks about in the last days we could see signs in the skies, including the blue moon types of signs. Oh, scary. Oh, that's
You know what else it
interesting,
said?
Anita.
It said, don't cheat on your spouse.
And here we are.
And here they are. Yeah, that's a good picture, Joe. Can't wait to see the final products.
Yeah,
How
they
was your
better be
week?
good for you skipping out on the damn show.
Again.
Being to Joe Baker.
I'm not counting them.
We're not counting that you've already missed 6 times.
6 episodes. And we're only 7 episodes in.
I know.
How was your week?
He said it's in the wood.
Is it
In case you didn't see all the trees.
the Tiger Woods? So I'm just realizing
Jamie.
I had my cyber security video I did earlier, right?
Mhm.
Just realizing that it said J Pineapple's on there.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. God, dog it,
Sean
man.
says Can Joe.
Can Joe, Cotton Eye Joe, Cotton Eye Joe.
Everybody, can Joe get the banjo? Did you ask me how my week was?
Yes.
Let me see here. Oh, it's fine, I guess. Nothing spectacular.
Wow.
I mean,
Well, that's all, folks. Have a great day. Okay.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
No, but I think I wrote some stuff down. Let me look at my notes
that's
because
right.
you know that I've
Yes.
got notes from different
You
areas.
know. Stop. I got to pull up my Reddit.
You know what? I have rants. That's what I have.
Ooh, okay.
Can I rant for a minute?
Yes.
Okay. So my number one, not like the number one on the list. If you pay for a service and you have a million excuses to not do said service, give me my money back and quit wasting my damn time. How about that?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
How many of y'all have fallen into that same thing? Put us in the
Please,
comments. Because
put
you're
it in
going to
the
hear
comments.
some stuff here. You're going to hear some stuff.
Because I'm going to tell you a story about this girl. Okay.
Tell us about this girl.
So this girl in March paid half of what the job was going to cost to get her service done.
Okay.
Thing about it is, this girl was going to give this as a present to someone. And it wasn't like $50.
No.
It was $500. So that's a large amount of money, right?
That's a little bit.
And that's a half of what you're going to charge me. Her. So anyway, went into contract in March and said, okay, let's do this thing May 22nd. May 22nd rolls around.
Mm-hmm.
The clown says, hey, I'm so sorry. I've had the flu and I had to go to the hospital. I was so sick.
Oh, that's sad. That's sad.
And I'm like, hey, no big, like totally understand. Just let me know when you're better and we can reschedule.
Right.
Also, second request, send me a mock-up of what your idea is. That way we can tweak it. Oh, I'll get that to you. No worries.
That makes sense. Okay. Okay.
Okay. You just
Yeah.
want to mock up. We just want to see what, I sent you a
Let's
picture
make
for
sure we're on the same
inspiration. You
thing.
just want to make sure, okay, that this is, because this is a big project. It's not, obviously, it's not a little project.
Right.
So scheduled and says, hey, let's do this thing June the 22nd, a month later.
June 22nd. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. No big. June 22nd rolls around and I don't hear anything. And then I reach out and I say, hey, oh my gosh, June 22nd is come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
No response. So then I'm like, okay, so I'm texting. So I was like, let me go back and use Facebook Messenger and see if this is going to work. Get on Facebook Messenger and oh my goodness. I sent out a blast saying that I had a new phone number. Maybe you just didn't read your message. I said, no, sir, I did not receive that message from you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be reaching out via Facebook Messenger.
Right. Right.
Sends out the blast to make it seem like I received it with his new phone number. So I said, okay, well, he's like, oh, and I have you down for July the 22nd. Okay. No big. It's okay. No panic
Glad
here.
the birthday wasn't in June.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, whatever the thing was. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then July 22nd rolls around. Don't hear anything. Oh my gosh, I've had food poisoning. I ended up at the ER, but I'm going to call you and we'll reschedule it. Also, request, can you send up the mock-up still? Because I'm still waiting on that. Oh yeah, I'll get that to you. So we finally reschedule again. And that date rolls around.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad is in the hospital having several surgeries. And I felt almost like he was performing the surgeries because he was in the back with his dad where he didn't have any phone service.
Wow.
I mean,
For a
just
month, 2 months,
just bad luck after bad luck after bad luck for me because I'm not getting my service done. He's
right.
I'm more than likely at this point spent the money. And so I said, you know what? Can I just get a refund? That'd be great. Thanks. I said, because we've already violated this contract through and through and through and through.
Yeah, thoroughly.
Yeah, like at this point, it's null and void.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm at the hospital with my dad. So sorry, I'm not able to check my phone on time. Can you? I'll get that to you ASAP. Okay. 3-4 days. Hey, how's that refund looking? Hey, I got a new debit card and I need to tie it up to this account, and it doesn't approve within 24 hours. It's going to take maybe 3 to 5 business days, but they said it doesn't take all the way to 5 days.
Okay, this is starting to sound like a joke, Sandy.
I swear to you, it was not a joke. This was my life from March until the beginning of August when I finally got my refund.
From March till August?
Finally got my refund.
I'm surprised you got a refund.
And
Sandy.
you know what I did was I requested, I followed the sound advice of a fellow friend. Friend says, hey, request
Sounds like great advice.
And you know what he did? He did it.
That is so wild. Oh, you muted. Huh. Hold on. No, I can't unmute you over here. Either you muted or you unplugged the mic. Because you were talking and we heard you.
Hello?
There we go. That is so out of this world. And you got your money back. Sandy, that is...
Be right back because I can't even hear you.
Oh, we can hear you. Oh. So that is so crazy because I had that happen too. So, but while she's out, let me just tell you, we here at the Pina household, we paid someone to do some work too. And this cat was, there you go. Can you hear us now? No. Say something on your side. I can hear you. We should just ask Sandy a whole bunch of questions and see if she can answer them. I can't control her mic.
Okay.
Can you hear us
Ask
now?
questions about what?
Oh, what were we gonna ask? I was gonna share my story until you got back, but I'm surprised you got your money back at all.
Honestly, I'm surprised too. Like I kept every single receipt. I typically don't leave negative reviews. I don't. But $500 was a lot to lose. So I kept every receipt of every point of contact that I made with him, me reaching out and being patient, like, hey, so sorry you got the flu. So sorry you got food poisoning. So sorry to hear about your dad. But
Yeah.
like, I have been nice. I have been respectful of everything I have said. I mean, everything
I
that I could
hate
think of.
when people take advantage like that, right? Like, you're a great person, you're really trying to help them out, you're using their service, and it's supposed to be a fair trade, right? They charge and you get whatever the product is, and so, but then they do this.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I
And,
get that there are swindlers out there. I get that.
but the thing is like he'd already had like a mutual friend. I mean, he did work for a girl that I know.
Mhm.
So that I know he's not a flake, but why was he a flake to me? Or I mean, I don't know
Maybe
if he
all
was
that
like
stuff was
dangerous.
true. Maybe all that stuff was true.
I mean,
I
yeah.
maybe. Did you ever talk to your friend afterwards and been like,
No, I
bro?
need to ask her. I hadn't thought about that. Sandy, why are you blasting me on your show? LOL. Just kidding. Sean said, "Hello, Sandy." Oh, he said he asked. I agree.
We
I agree
agree.
wholeheartedly that he wasn't asking that. That was really upsetting because I had this planned and it was a gift for Eric. It was going to be a Father's Day gift, a late Father's Day. Well, actually, man, I planned it out early, but based on how things fell, it ended up being not a gift.
That stinks.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a similar situation, Sandy, years ago. We had paid a friend to do some work in the basement, and like some legit work. Like, we were going to have it framed off and enclosed further because there
Mm-hmm.
was some, the brick to the basement was showing, and
So you
we
can
had
do
already
some
had it
finish.
fixed. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well, and it was already finished. We were just more finished, just
Right.
more. We wanted the walls to look clean and uniform across the entire basement. So where the brick was, we were just going to get that covered up.
Mm-hmm.
And he gave us a price, and we're like, what? I had already quoted a few others, and it was pretty high, which, we were like, okay, if it's high, that's fine. I mean, we're asking for a big job. But when he showed it, we're like, and he was a friend of the church.
Okay, let me pause you right there. Okay, so one of my biggest rules is if you have anywhere in your business name or your motto something about the Lord, something about a Bible verse, I won't utilize that.
Okay.
Not because you're a Christian, but just because if I feel like those people that do that are shady MFs. I'm not even kidding.
Mm.
I've seen so many things come out of that. But go ahead and I'll give you an example of one of those.
Well, and okay, so he didn't have a name. It wasn't a business thing. He was just Sandy, we had been remodeling the church, and he was like the main guy leading it all.
Mhm.
The church was providing the materials. When the men met every Wednesday for however long, we were doing the work that he directed us to do.
Mhm.
And this was his profession. And so he comes around and he was like, here's the quote. We're like, oh wow. And then he was like, go ahead and think about it, whatever. We're like, okay. So then he comes back later, a couple days later, and he's like, look, is there any way I can get the down payment, deposit, whatever, if you want it done, can I get the down payment? And we're like, okay, yeah, that's fine. So the wifey and I talked, and we're like, we'll just go ahead and pay him the whole amount, and that way we can just not have to worry about it. From our
Yeah.
perspective, it was, don't have to worry about it, So we paid him the whole amount in full, and then he came over once or twice, and then it was like, and we couldn't find him at church. I couldn't get a hold of him on the phone. He was
Oh,
like, I needed the money to go buy this truck because I'm moving to Texas. So he's down there. Anyway, he was down there. And then
oh, what's his
I
name?
called and called and called. And then get this. So I had asked, and this pissed me off too. It was crazy. I had asked a friend in the church about him who supported him. It was like, yeah, because we didn't just give him the money or whatever. I was like, I saw what he was doing
Like
at
he had a
church.
reference
Yeah.
and you saw him in action. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. And he knew what he was doing. And the church looked great. So then I asked a friend and he vouched for him. And I was like, okay, so then we'll go ahead and go for it. So I didn't have any problems. I didn't have anything to believe why we shouldn't give him the full amount.
Right.
So we gave him the full amount. But then as soon as we did that, it was no go. He didn't come by. He never answered my calls. He didn't show up to church anymore or anything like that.
The devil is a lie.
The devil is a liar. So I went trying to find him. No luck. He wouldn't return any of our calls. Nothing. Come talk to that friend again at the church. And then he kind of shared a little something.
No mames,
It pissed
güey.
me off, Sandy. I was so angry because I'm like, you told me he was reliable. I'm like, but now you're telling me this doesn't surprise you?
No.
What the heck, man?
Were you guys like colluding? What's the word? Were you?
I didn't understand that, Sandy. I was pissed at him, and my wife was more, right? And I was like, dude, why did you do that? I was like, you told me he was good to go, and da-da-da-da. He never gave me a straight answer, but I was like, you freaking jerky, man. Like,
That's
seriously.
awful. I mean, you guys work just like anybody else. We work hard for our money.
Yeah.
And
we had a
we
dream.
don't have like disposable income to just throw it away. I mean,
Yeah. And if he needed that, he could have asked, and we would have maybe helped out somewhere along the lines.
yeah.
But to take that whole amount, and granted, it was cheaper than the other quotes, but it was still a high ticket item. Like we were closing the basement, so it was just like.
And and you think, okay, maybe he's giving it to me at a discount because we helped at the church, or because sometimes they can.
And I told him, I was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Is this right?" I was like, "I don't want the." I was like, I mean, if we get a discount, great. I was like, but if you don't,
definitely not asking, will
yeah,
and not expecting it either.
And he was like, no, I can do this quick. He goes, that's how good I am. And again, looking at his stuff at the church, I was like, well, I believe that actually. I believed it was going to take him like that to do it because what he did at the church, it was amazing and quick.
So to this day, you never got your work done, and the guy never.
And you know what? He owns a restaurant in St. Louis now, and I'm like, what?
Su pinche madre. I'm gonna go. You know what? Let's go over there. We'll drop cockroaches. We'll call the food permit people. Have them shut down.
Gross over there. Be like, yeah,
it's disgusting.
So anyway.
I'm sorry. Honestly, it's upsetting. It doesn't matter whether it's $10, it's $15,000. It's upsetting.
Yeah. It really was. It was such a burn. And we felt like the fools because everyone else, the feeling was that everyone else at church knew this was his MO or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But no one told us nothing. Los como tontos here, just thinking it's a
one-time thing. So, we put in that pool at our house in Wolfforth, right? And that guy there towards the end came for the check to the final payment, and phase 4 was he never finished it. He just came for the check, said, hey, blah, blah, blah. And we gave it to him because we thought, oh, he'll be back. Never showed up again. So we had he did like a guy's pull down the way. So I saw that guy outside one day, and I was like, I'm going to go ask him what happened to him. Like if he had, I whipped my car around. I'm like, hey, look, I don't mean to scare you, but I want to know, like, did this guy complete your pull? And he shared his story with me. And I said, oh my gosh, we need to start a club. I said, because that's the exact same thing that happened to me. And he said, well, we can start a club. He said, because I found him somewhere else, and I, got his number from somebody else's thing that was doing a pull, and come to find out he did the same thing to him.
Man.
So I have made it my life's mission when somebody says, hey, who put y'all's pool in? I'm like, I'll tell you who not to use. But my biggest thing that weighed on me for a really long time was that there was an elderly gentleman who used to do yards in our neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
He happened to be working on a yard that was like their backyard butted up to ours, and he was out there working. So he came by my house. This was like when he very first started, and he was working really well. And he said, "Hey, can I take a look? What do you guys think about this guy?" And we were like, "Hey, well, we've been so impressed, blah, blah, blah." And this man said, "Well, several years ago," and he said, "I don't know if you saw the article. I was on the news. I paid someone a lot of money to put in a pool. And
Mm-hmm.
all they did was dig up a hole and then left me high and dry."
Shut up.
And so anyway, so this old man, after I said, "Man, this guy is good. Like totally percent, go ahead and start building your pool."
Yeah.
And then he left us high and dry. And that old man weighed on my heart. He weighed on my heart so much. Listen, he stopped by and I said, "Oh, well, hello, photographer. Nice of you to join us.
Oh,
Super blue moon shooter.
What were you doing today?"
well, just thought I'd stop by. I was in the neighborhood.
Oh, good.
Glad you can grace our grace us with your
Yes.
presence.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Honestly.
interrupt what was going on. So
The old man shows up at my house and he says, "Hey, I'm about to start my pool. Can I look at yours? And can you tell me how it went?" I said, "Oh my gosh." I said, "Sir, I have thought about you. I have worried about you. I have cried because I did not want the same thing to happen to him." And we said, run as fast as you can. Do not let go. Do not get your money. And we showed him like everything that he had done wrong. And he said, "I am so glad." He said, "Something called me to your house." He said, "I am so glad I stopped by."
So
But
he fired him, or didn't?
Oh yeah, didn't even go through with it. Yeah. So anytime like I see on recommendations page people asking about a pool, I said, "Look, I don't know who to use, but I'm gonna tell you right now, do not use this guy."
No, stay away from him.
Mm-hmm. And we got a pool quote for our new place, and we had told him, we'd let the guy know that we'd already built a pool once before. And we asked him, and he said, "Oh, who put it in?" And we told him, he's like, "Oh, that crook." He said, "Yeah, he comes in and out." He said he'll do a couple of pools a year and then just disappear. I'm like, ooh, how does he even survive? I don't even know. I just don't know how he does it.
That's
that
crazy.
Just goes to prove. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. That just shows like how like bad people. I just sometimes just don't get it, right? Like, how do bad people just survive things?
Yeah.
They just keep getting through, and you're like he just does enough to not flag the bank, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm all my sales every year are just $9,999.99.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like great.
And I saw him one day, and I wanted to punch him in his pecker.
And you know what's the crazy thing is, if for you, Sandy, it would be assault, but when he screwed you, it was no one paying
Just
attention.
business.
It's bad business. It's just bad business. That's fine.
Yeah. It's not
I don't
personal.
even get it. Like, start the work and then not finish it. Like,
and then he pisses me off because like he has my pool after I had already decorated it. Like I went and got like a flamingo and got some metal flowers and had it looking all cute. And he has that picture. He happened to take it. And he's over there showcasing it like he did it. I'm like, "You got to pinch him." And he blocked me, so I can't comment on anything.
Wow.
You need to create a specific Facebook account just to mess with him. Like every year at the
Now that
same
you
time.
say that, I think I invited y'all to Businesses Not to Recommend.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I should go put him in there. Him and that
you
other
absolutely
one.
should.
Mm-hmm.
Ask someone to invite him in there first.
Oh,
and then when he's in there, then you can tag his name in blue. It'll be highlighted in blue.
But since I'm blocked, can I tag him?
No,
like he won't see it. I don't think so.
It, no.
Not that I've tried or anything.
I mean, he might if someone asked him about it.
If I post anonymous.
Oh, there you go. You can post,
Mm-hmm.
Then he can see it. There you go. Mm-hmm. You can post anonymous and say, "This is 42nd Street."
Yeah.
Remember me?
46.
Remember
Thanks for
me?
the ride.
Loco.
Loco in the cabeza.
But anyway, I think let me look back at my notes. I have a couple more, but let's catch up with Joe. Let's see what Joe's been up to.
I really love that you make notes too, by the way.
What have I been up to like this past weekend?
Yeah, how was your week? What have you been doing?
I have been. Whatever. Oh, so we went to the wedding. We did the wedding thing.
Oh, that's right. We went to a hot ass wedding.
We did go to and luckily, Eric and I, the assistant, we were the smart ones, and we wore shorts.
Yeah.
No one else was wearing shorts
No
out
one
there?
else was wearing shorts.
There was some girls in short dresses.
Yes,
So that counted.
Eric and I were the smart ones, and I was like, I so hope somebody, because I was walking in, I was like, and I saw like a G and Lalo and them, they're all dressed up and stuff, and I was like, I please hope somebody else is wearing shorts. And then I walk in and Eric's wearing shorts, and I'm like, yes, he and I.
Yeah. He was like, Stan, do you think I'd be okay wearing shorts? I'm like, babe, no one expects anything from you. You just wear
he's
your
like,
shorts.
Thanks.
Right.
What was it again?
It was a wedding. It was
A
a
wedding,
backyard
okay,
wedding.
okay.
Yeah. It
And
was a
then,
backyard wedding. What was the temperature?
like 98 or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's
pretty warm.
not got the weather yet for sure.
Yeah, it was warm. It was definitely warm.
It finally cooled down today, or yesterday. Yesterday.
When I walked out
Saturday.
this morning, I was like, oh, fall. Quit tricking
Oh,
me.
yeah.
false fall.
Yeah,
That's
so
funny.
it felt like it was cool. So by the time I got to the office,
Uh-huh.
y'all can guess what time I got to the office.
I don't know.
It's like
'Cause he was
6
supposed to
p.m.
be
at night.
there. What day you were supposed to be at the office?
Right. Well, anyways, on the way to the office, they tell me, "Hey, Joe, I don't think the AC's working." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. I'll see y'all later."
Toodaloo, motherfucker.
Peace out. No, so I get there and it's definitely not working. And so around 2:00, I'm like, "Okay, guys, let's call it." So I went to lunch first. And
Of
then,
Of course, you got to do the major heavy
No.
lifting before you
and
call it
then
off.
and then I tried to work for like an hour, and I'm like, I can't work in these conditions. I'm gonna have to leave.
Like he
Yeah.
can barely work in the regular
So,
conditions.
I
Now you
told-
know how the children in the Nike
I
factory
told them
feel.
that they could all leave, and they end up staying. I'm like, well, I'm leaving. Sorry, I got stuff to do.
That's some good employees.
I was like, why? Because I drove past by because I had to go run an errand, and I drove past by, and I see that their cars is still there. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? It's
He
hot.
was
It's like
stalking his
81
employees.
degrees in the office. And I'm like, y'all dumb.
No.
No, they
When
wanna get
ours
a
went
check.
out, it pegged out. It was like 90 and it went like past the 90.
I remember when you posted the picture of that.
I was so angry. Like, I'm serious. Like, if somebody would have gone in there and said something to me, I would have freaking snapped. I'm not even kidding. I could feel the sweat trickle down my back. It was
Yeesh.
bad.
Yeah, I would not have stayed. My eyes start to water, and I'm like, okay, guys, we can work from home, so y'all can go. I didn't even wait to see if they. Like I said, I just left. I'm like, I'll see y'all.
The only reason I was even there was because the AC people were supposed to be there.
And they never showed.
It was hot for them. It was too hot for them.
Yeah. Like, they don't work in these conditions.
Yeah, and they said, oh, so we called our AC guy. He's like, oh, we could be there, but not till after 4:00. So I didn't go back. Obviously, somebody else volunteered B, and so she's like, because she thinks we keep the office too cold anyway. So she's like,
I was going to say, she
"Oh,
was
it's-"
probably fun.
Yeah, she's like, this is nice. I don't know what you're talking about.
Those little terrarium lizards.
She went back and he fixed it for us, and so we got our AC's working for $450. So I guess that's.
Are you guys, since you rent there, you guys are responsible for your own AC bills?
Yeah. Yep. So I think it's anything on the inside of the AC, unless it was something like plumbing wise, then they would be responsible for that. So from what I
Gotcha.
hear.
I
And
think
then-
our lease is going to change to that. But we're like, if we have to pay for this AC, you're going to put us a brand new unit because this one from 1980. No.
Yeah, and then Jamie, I get a text yesterday and from someone, and they said, "Were you supposed to do something for me?" I was like, What are you talking about?
You're like, I don't ever make commitments. I'm supposed to be
Right.
you know?
let me see what this person had said, and I was like, let's see here. Good morning. I need blah blah blah, and I said, okay, I will call you as soon as I get to the office. That was Monday. And then I get a little message. Did you forget something? Yesterday. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I look at the message here, it says, I will call you as soon as I get to the office. Obviously, I didn't get to the office on Monday.
It was like a ricochet bullet. He was going to the office and he was like, oh, it's hot? Never mind.
It's like that little Kermit. Like, nope.
Yeah.
Never mind.
You're like, technically, I didn't,
never arrived.
So
right, yeah, I never arrived. So I don't know what she's talking about, but
rude.
And then I get another call saying that my card was declined, and so
you a lie. You a lie. This busy. No one ever said it was declined. He just gave the wrong numbers.
Someone wrote down the wrong number.
No.
Yes, because I'm pretty positive that I speak English.
No.
And
Is that a racist? Because I'm brown? Oh,
you're brown, Sandy.
I'm browner. So you don't listen to browner people is what it sounds like. That's what
true.
I'm hearing.
I don't understand them accents. Anita says, what a freaking crook, Sandy. So we're getting a swimming pool at our new home. I mean, it's in the works. It's in the future plans, Anita.
You could call it a swimming pool. It'd be more apt to say they're getting a pond, a lake. Sandy's building a giant.
So are you going to be able to close this week? Was that? I know there was a.
So we've had, if there was ever a need for you to look up the word setback, not the other word.
Not the on time as scheduled.
You would see a picture of the Abbey family. We have had every possible setback, but I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're finally closing on Tuesday.
Oh,
wow!
If something suddenly doesn't come up.
Wow.
That's crazy, Sandy. Congratulations.
I hope it all worked out well. About the lady that fell in the cement and passed out?
No. Never even asked anybody. I'm like, hey, listen, my luck, she'd probably be trying to sue me. Because she dumb.
Someone fell in your cement?
Oh, Jamie, do you don't remember the story?
Tell me. I don't think anybody else does either.
I hired concrete workers like me, like my customers. I said, hey, need you to go pour me a slab. Got you. Don't worry, Sandy.
Okay.
And so then my guy, the day that he was out there with the cement truck, he said, Sandy, you got nothing but crackheads working out here for you. And I'm like, brother, you're the only one that I have out there. So I don't know who you're talking about. He said, Sandy, the cement truck backed up because I had him do like my front stuff. Backed up. This car waited, saw them pouring the cement out. He follows the cement truck to the back because he was doing the patio. And the lady steps into freshly poured concrete. I mean, it hadn't even been flattened out yet. It's freshly poured.
Freaking
she struggles to get out.
Sure. Yeah.
So then they're on the other side. My trim people come in and they were like, hey, one of y'all's employees passed out in the front. And my guy's like looking at his employees and he's like, and so he goes over and he sees this woman passed out in like got herself out, but then passed out. And so he's like, the trim guys, they're looking at each other. He's like, do we call 911? And then just as they were saying that, some truck pulls up, some guys get there, pick her up and just like put her in the vehicle and drive off.
What in the world?
Like, what in the clown show is happening?
Was it the Men in Black? Did you have an alien? Did you almost catch an alien?
No idea nobody knows who they were, why they were out there. Mm-hmm. We just have always assumed it was the painting crew. But every time we go out there, the painting crew was just the nicest people.
So how long ago was this?
Oh shoot.
It's been a little
bit.
bit, yeah. It's been a little bit, yeah.
So no resolution to it at all. Like it just is a mystery in the Abby
She was picked up.
timeline.
She was taken care of.
I mean,
Well, can we say she was taken care of? All we can say is she was.
Well, we
picked
know
up.
that she's not in the cement anymore.
we know
Right.
unless they splattened her.
Unless she came back later and they fixed it up.
I mean, but I don't know.
Bizarre.
Yeah, when
Bizarre.
Sandy told me that, I was like, what?
It's the weirdest thing ever because I'm just like, all I knew is my concrete crew was out there just because you can't get in and out, so nobody was going to be doing any work.
Yeah.
So no clue.
That's
Crazy, Sandy. Crazy. You know, the weird things that happen to people just from living life, right? Like it's crazy. Like I know we were like this past weekend, I was crazy thinking about how wild it is that we lived through a crazy event like just 3 years ago. Craziness, right? The world was a different place, and there's this blip in human history. And man,
Kate and I were just talking about that at dinner.
really?
We were talking about it because Joe, was it Kiki's senior year?
yeah.
Because we didn't go to that graduation. Like nobody else was allowed. It was just y'all, and it was outdoors, right?
It was outdoors, right? Yeah.
And so I made mention to him. I'm like, hey, word on the street is that it's coming back. And Kate is like, Mom,
That's true.
it's my senior year. Like, what's going to happen? And
Maybe
I
that's
said,
why it's been on my thoughts.
Yeah,
said, I
because
don't know.
there's a couple of school districts that have closed down for a week or two.
Yeah.
I heard of a big what's it called? There was a big like festival in Wyoming or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And they said like it has like thousands of people show up to it. And then I heard that like thousands of people got the vid while they were there. So yeah, it's back on the rise. It's so crazy.
So crazy.
Or maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was more of a like listening in the background, and then it's just been more constantly. And it didn't help. Like, okay. I was watching. I finally finished The Resident today. Okay, I binge watched. It's a TV show and it's a medical drama. But I was watching The Good Doctor, which is so funny because when we first started the show, The Good Doctor had just came on or was on for a little bit, and I was able to start watching it. But I told myself, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wait till it gets some more seasons in. And here I am at 6 seasons, and so I binge watched that, and then I binge watched The Resident. Oh my gosh! So this has been several weeks past already, but they had episodes. Each show had an episode relating to that, and I was bawling, man. I was bawling because it was so like.
Yeah, because it was like we experienced it.
Yeah,
and you're like watching it, and you're like, "What the crap?" It was like a mind freak.
It was like it was watching it and thinking to myself, I'm like, "That's really how it was like." Like that was no joke. Like I watched on both episodes, I was like, "No joke." That's what it was like. Like they were talking about how they were reusing their PPE and how people who were coming in, and then. One woman, she ends up getting one of the shows, I won't say which one of them ends up getting PTSD because she has to tell so many people that their loved one is dead.
Oh my God.
She recites this thing, and so afterwards now she struggles with PTSD. She gets all the stuff, all the regular stuff, because she's like, she's having a hard time with people who are dying in her hospital. And it's just like, and you know, I lost an uncle. I lost my grandfather during that time. I lost my grandmother during that time. My grandfather had cancer, but then he got sick, and then he could never get healthy enough after he got done being sick. He could never get healthy enough to get back into cancer treatment.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was terrible, right? And so, yeah, I messaged Joe and Sandy. I don't think they remember, but I was like, the freaking the vid shows on both of these shows, guys. Why the heck is it hitting like?
Right, yeah. It's because we actually
right
were part of
there.
it. Yeah, it was because a lot of times they take things from the news and make them write them into the show or whatever. But this one affected everyone.
Yeah.
And so
and they didn't have to exaggerate at all. It was like, holy
it's
cow,
crazy.
man. So anyway, it yeah. So that's been thought.
Okay, so while we're on the vein of PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
y'all know that for the last 2 years, Eric and I have been puppy raisers for Rennie.
Yeah.
And we knew that, oh my gosh, I'm trying not to get emotional. We've known that she's going to find her person.
Yeah.
And she found her person. We actually met him, I want to say like 2 months ago. And so they called us and said they're coming in. Her candidate is coming in and they're going to train with her all week. And we're like, okay, no big deal. They're like, train all week and then they're going to leave and then they're going to come back for their final visit. Yeah. So we're like, okay. So Thursday, the people that are training, the Rock and Paul, Jolynn Payne, that's been training her, texts and says, hey, Rennie's ready to go. Like, she's done so good. And this was Thursday. So I'm like, I'm at a stop sign and I checked my phone to see, like, maybe did I see that right? And I start bawling. Like, I cried nonstop. And I called Eric and I'm like, look, I kept telling myself, I'm not going to get attached to her. Like, you're attached to her. I'm not. And I'm like, you're the one who's going to have a hard time with this. So anyway, the director for Duty First assistant, Duty First was like, Sandy, Eric, like, she doesn't have to go. Like, I want you guys to have closure. And I had told Eric, I said, the thing about it is like my dogs, my personal dogs have already started the grieving process. Like, they've not been eating because Rennie's not there. And they come in and I can see them. I can, I know their typical behavior. I know their normal behavior. And they come in and they're like looking everywhere, looking all over the place for her. So anyway, and he said, y'all can keep her Friday night and then y'all can just get in the morning. And I told Eric, I said, I can't do it to us and I can't do it to my dogs because they've already started that process. Like, it would totally confuse them. And I said, look, Mike, I appreciate you. And I thank you. When we signed up for this, we knew that eventually we were going to have to let her go. Mm-hmm. I said, so if we could just like say goodbye to her Saturday morning, like, we will be good. And so we met Saturday morning for breakfast. And I'm going to tell you something. This man has, from the time that I met him, and I'm not sharing too much that he wouldn't share. That first night that we met him, this man was like wringing his hands, visibly shaking, and you could just see tears coming down his face as he was telling his story about his PTSD. So I'm sitting there bawling my eyes out because I'm just like, oh my God.
You're like, hold on, I'm not gonna let you do this alone because let me get in
and
there
I
too.
knew at that point, and I was like, okay, because you get to see, we're not privy to all of the applications. We're privy to some of the applications. Like, we've met a couple of people that were possibly candidates. But man, when this man shared his story, I'm like, just take her now. Just go ahead and take her.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna hurt, but you're gonna get so much more.
Yes, you're gonna be so much more. So when we saw him Saturday morning, I swear, y'all, he was already like a changed person. They had to do some exercises, and there's some triggers that are there for him, and they were trying to figure out, like, how can we trigger so that we can get a response from Rennie, for training purposes, not because we're trying to be cruel, but we just were trying to figure out how we could get her. Anyway, so Eric worked with him on Sunday, and that trigger came. Like, it was not planned. Nobody was ready for it, and it needed to happen, and it happened. And I believe wholeheartedly that this man's life will be forever saved because of Rennie.
That's awesome.
So, but yes, our little hearts hurt. We're so sad without her because she's the best dog. Because because my dogs, they suck at life, and it's okay. They're the world's little okayest dogs.
I saw that you had a photo shoot with them too.
I did do a photo shoot. I was just kind of like sad and just kind of stressed. It was that Thursday that I did that photo shoot. So I was like, let me just play with my puppies so they can be. So they need love right now, and I think I needed it more than they did.
Right.
Yeah.
But they did really good.
Yeah,
with
they
their
look
little
good.
photo shoot.
You got them to sit still and
I mean, anytime that I
camera?
sat, that they were like, "Oh, what are you doing, Mom?" And so they just like kind of jump on me. So I was just kind of like trying to be gentle, trying to get them to look. I was trying to do it without treats because they're so treat driven.
That's so sweet, Sandy.
That is a cool story. So will you be able to get updates and stuff like that?
Yes, they've been really good. They've been sending us pictures. Joe, you had access to her. She does not like her vest. So I think they're on vest number 2 because the thing about it is she really needs to have a vest on because people still want to come up and pet her.
People be people.
And so they sent us a picture of her today, and they said, I think we found. Oh, I'll share it to you guys can see the update. And I'm just like, oh my God, does this little baby look sad to y'all? Because she looks sad to me. But no, she's doing so good, and they're doing great with the updates. And
how many pictures did I get to you of her? Did I just give you a couple?
I think so.
I need to give you a few more.
Okay, I just sent it. But yeah, so she's doing good. They finally got a glimpse of her because I always said she's a cat because she loved to sit like on the back of the couch and look out the window. And they sent us a picture of her trying to sit like on their little itty bitty ledge of the couch like she normally did here. But
are you bringing? Oh yeah, he's.
And that's her new little vest, and they said she doesn't seem to mind this one as much. So
okay, yeah.
But look
She's
at her little
totally
eye.
different dog whenever she has
Isn't
that
cute?
vest on.
Oh my gosh.
So she's gonna be down by Houston now. So it's not they're not like from here.
Okay.
That's pretty far when you're in Texas, Houston.
So are you thinking you're gonna do this again?
So Eric and I talked about it. Oh my gosh.
It's tough. It is tough.
It is so hard. It is really hard, but I think I shared it with you guys. I don't remember if 100%, but I think I shared it with you that, so Rennie was named after a soldier. His last name was Renfro, and she was named after him because he, committed suicide. Trigger warning, everybody. Sorry. And so the purpose of Duty First is to prevent suicide by providing therapy dogs, service dogs to first responders and veterans. So the soldier's mom reached out to me and she said, "Hey, I'm his mom. I'm sitting here with his daughter. Do you mind sharing pictures with us about Rennie's adventures?" So this whole time, these last 2 years that I've had her, I have sent pictures and chatted with her and, just kind of became a friend. And so I guess knowing her, meeting this man and his family, I just told Eric, I said, we would totally do it again.
Right.
Because it'll save a life. And the dogs have a purpose. So yeah, we would do it again. Sorry, I'm trying not to be a sap, but oh my God.
It's all right. It's all right. I wasn't getting choked up either.
Right, it's just water, just thirsty.
It's just a little sprinkles.
It's hot outside.
I know.
Don't put all the dust in this damn room.
Right. I think the AC went out here. But no, it's been a cool adventure for sure. So, and then in the same vein, my friend Jolynn that owns Rocking Paw, that's done all the training, she sent me that a breeder was going out of business. She happened, I don't know if you guys remember, I had a long-haired German Shepherd.
Raider?
My boy Red.
Red.
And y'all know that I love my Red so much. So this lady breeds the long-haired. Yeah. So she breeds these long-haired German Shepherds. So this lady's going out of business and she has 3 of them.
Oh,
And so Jolynn said, "Hey, Sandy, I know you're going to hate me, and Eric's going to hate me even more, but I think you need to add him to your pack." And I saw her and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she looks just like Red. She's a female version of Red."
oh.
And I'm just like, do we need another dog? Like, and she's like, "Sandy, you can have plenty of land now." And I'm like, I mean, that's true.
That's true,
That's
actually.
true. But we thought about it and we're just like, okay, so it's always really hard to, especially for us since we travel quite a bit, to get them into a boarding where they'll take all three at the same time. You know, sometimes they only have room for one, sometimes they only have room for two. So it's really hard to get, you know. So Eric and I talked about it and we're just like, you know what? Although this is what we've been wanting for several years, we're just going to put a pause on that. And if Judy first tells us like we have a puppy in the system, then we'll probably jump on that again. So, but yeah. Sorry to bring it down.
It's all right.
You don't have to say sorry. It's not down necessarily, so it's not like you're sharing a terrible story. I didn't take it as a terrible story, so.
Okay, thank you. But anyway, so that's our busy little lives between everything else that we have going on. So
Yeah.
And hopefully you can be moving next week.
Yes, hopefully. We're gonna have a moving party.
I'm okay if you don't invite me to that.
Turns out my back hurts.
Right.
Oh
My gosh.
Joe, Zeta's playing volleyball.
Oh yes, and I need to text her because she wanted to come out. So my team this year hasn't been the best team. It's a new team that I put together, and we didn't think that we'd make the year-end tournament. Well, we made the year-end tournament.
So, I gotcha.
Yeah, so
there weren't enough people out there, huh?
There's only 5 teams, and we're not last place, so we're in by default, which I'm okay with because I want to play a little bit more. But the teams that are playing are really good. So Zeta, I told Brenda that, hey, I'll text you, and so that you guys can come check it out because there's some really good players out there. So.
Oh, awesome. Good.
And she can see how much my 2% adds to my team.
Well, that's what I told her. I'm like, I bet Joe knows people that play volleyball.
just a couple.
I mean, he might know some people.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so I need to make sure that I text. I'll probably. Does she mind late text?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Don't. G does. Don't text G. Text Brenda.
Okay. I'll remind her.
I went and watched her first game, and she was super nervous, and she doesn't like when people like cheer her on. So.
Aww.
Let me text her.
I recognize the name. So who is this? I just don't remember who they are.
My niece Zeta. She is in middle school.
Okay. Zeta in middle school.
Yes.
Nice.
She's so awesome. She's such a good kid.
They are good kids. I love those little kids. Look, Chon said she be fun. She be fun, Sandy. I know she will. I totally know she will.
Yeah. These aren't tears of
no, they're just I'm sad for me just because she's such a good little doggy. Yeah,
this isn't something bad that happened. It's emotional.
No.
But emotional does not equal bad.
Right. So. No. Just sad for us. Because we'll have to start
if it wasn't sad,
all over.
Like there would be you should be worried if there wasn't sadness about what happened. If they weren't reacting the way they were. Hey, Rodimus.
Rodimus Prime.
So that one more sad story. Eric got up the next day. You know, he's the normal. Eric's always the one that does everything with the dogs. He got up and he said, "Man, it just hit me." He's like, "I only put out 2 feeding bowls instead of 1." So I'm like, "Babe."
Brutal. Poor guy.
I know.
But the good thing is, that she's being taken care of.
Yes, so absolutely.
Like whenever we lost our family dog, oh my goodness, I was a mess. And then we were there whenever she passed away. And so I was like, I told the producer, I was like, I do not want to do this again.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
what does she do? She goes and gets another dog.
Oh my god!
She's like, I like seeing
Like
you
you
cry.
totally missed the message there.
Like, the whole message
Like,
was,
you,
I was like, I can't do this again. I was like,
yeah. You're like, where and what I said did that turn into? Let's
All
get
she
another
heard was,
dog.
"Let's do this again."
right, that's all she said.
It's like I remember when Dr. Pineapples chose to get the girls fish, and I was like, oh no, why did you do? I said no to that. I was like, shut that down. We do not need to get fish. And she's like, why? But and I was like, are you gonna take care of it? Because they're hard to take care of. I said, and then second, when they die, are you just gonna keep replacing them or what? And so that's what ended up happening. She ended up taking care of it and was upset that I didn't help her because I was like, I don't want to help. And then she started replacing the fish. They kept dying over and over, and I was just like,
Oh
no.
my gosh, yeah.
I was like,
Well,
are you
thanks for
kidding
listening,
me?
Rod.
I was like,
Appreciate you.
you sure sent me? Yeah. And so yeah, but we finally closed that door down, and I was like, thank you.
Yes, and so you went and got a ferret,
Snakes.
Yeah.
Snakes.
a lynx,
Snakes.
snakes. No, you have a ferret too.
Yeah, but that was the space between. Yeah. The
And
little
did you have gerbils? Hamsters?
Hamsters.
You got a whole damn zoo over there. That
Then
you're
you see
the
with
We
this
Bought a
TikTok
Zoo movie.
of that snake in Australia that's like
Dude.
rolling across the roof. Did you? Oh,
Jamie's
I
not
forgot
on
he
the
does
TikTok.
another TikTok, but yeah,
Um,
there's a snake going across the roof into the tree, and that mother's got to be this big around.
Wow.
And they were like, it's a carpet snake. That looked like a fucking anaconda if you ask me.
Right. I know it's in
Carpet
Australia,
python.
but it's an anaconda.
Yeah. Poor snakes get a bad rep.
and
So-
it looked at the family, and they just all started freaking out. Because you couldn't see its head, and then it circles around the tree, and it just looks at them like this, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna automatically like jump across there." And get
yeah.
it. But it was just funny how people freak out about.
And the
snakes.
guy was like, be brave. And he's like, really? You're telling somebody to be brave?
You're over there screaming.
Oh my goodness.
Because speaking of National Geographic, at our new house, we've had a mouse in my bathtub, a snake that smelt that freaking mouse and was inside our garage through the hole that the mouse had chewed underneath our garage door.
A brand new garage door.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid mouse. But you know, I hate the mouse more than I hate the actually I don't hate the snake at all. I hate the mice.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm glad they're out here eating those little
Let me-
suckers.
Let me show you. Did I send y'all this little video of this little mouse? He was praying to the mouth, he was praying to the mouse god so hard that I wouldn't see him.
He was standing
was-
still really
He
hard.
was he was like this. Like it was, and even I sent it to my brothers, and she was like, "Save it, sis." I ain't saving no damn. What is wrong with
Things are
you?
gross.
Okay, it's
Things
sending.
are disgusting.
So the funny thing is we had just installed my my bathtub, and I was like, let me go check it out, see what it does. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the mouse has been in here because it had all this doo-doo and pee. And then I don't know why I didn't see it initially, and then I was like, oh my god, he's still in here. So my bathtub was a better mousetrap than anything.
He's just chilling too. Look,
Yeah, he's
like, if I don't move, they won't see me.
Look at him. He's like, please, mouse god.
So I've from time to time found mice in our house, random whatever, right? 'Cause there's a lot of cornfields out here, so it just goes with the territory sometimes.
Jamie's new pet.
No, you're not gonna say that after my story. So every time I find a mouse, though, you know where they go?
Go to the
To
snake
the
pit.
snakes.
Yes, their lunch it's wild caught mouse for them. Well, really only one, the big one, and
It's
yeah.
organic.
that's really
Yeah.
that's where they go. So I don't know why when I share it, it just takes it away.
Yeah, it stops
Oh.
doing it after.
And so then I sent you of the guy that was hunting him.
Here we go.
As my hero. My hero, but the bathtub trapped it.
And that's a
Trapped-
gopher snake right there.
That's what I say. Is that a gopher snake?
That's what I had back in the office, Joe.
Oh,
And they're
they got
mean
out.
they're mean suckers, but they're not.
They bite you.
They're,
They sure will bite the shit out of
They
you.
are what do you call it? A gopher snake is a sub whatever of a bull snake, and so they name bull snake because of the attitude.
Yeah.
Oh, because of the attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of my friends that lives out in the country is like, you need a snake grabber. That way you can grab it and then
that's
just
true.
like
Yeah,
move
yeah.
it out of the way.
That's a good point.
Because we use a state-of-the-art PVC pipe and just like shh.
Well, I'm glad you didn't kill it.
The art.
Absolutely not.
Well, some people act full and
Like if it's a rattler, I mean, we're killing it. Sorry.
that makes sense. I mean, they're dangerous and you don't need to
Yeah.
mess around, right?
My new
Yeah.
pet. Yeah, because I've got dogs. I mean, my dogs are going to be back there, so will definitely kill. And then I'm going to eventually have chickens, and I don't want them killing my chickens.
Oh yeah. You gotta watch out
lots
for
and lots of
the
chickens.
coyotes, the coyotes.
Yeah,
And the chupacabras.
that too.
'Cause they're going to come out, and Sandy's going to be on here telling us the stories of them, and we're going to be like, "Oh snap, it's legit."
And then I'm going to have a grainy ass photo.
You sure are. They're going to be like, "Amateur photographer caught a video of a really blurry item here. Look,
Yeah, that
look at
insists
the
is a
other pictures that
chupacabra.
she's made, and compare it to what she's showing us of the supposed chupacabra
It
right
was
now."
my iPhone. I
We're gonna be
can't
like,
help
"Oh,
it. It was
God."
an iPhone photo. And then they show other
Chupacabra.
people with their freaking iPhone photos.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show off my comic books because it's that close to the end.
Okay, good, because I have one more thing written down on my note.
That's okay. We can skip it for next week. So
Oh,
I like
hell
this.
no.
you're not looking. You're looking at your
I
phone.
am. No, I wanted to take a picture of that because it's Superman.
So there is a
How
comic.
many abs does he have?
They always have like 50,000, man. I swear to God.
Hey, did y'all like that Reddit comment? It was like, all straight guys, who's the most attractive man ever? And everybody's like, Henry Cavill.
Right.
I didn't catch that, or maybe I don't
Oh
remember.
yeah, it was good. He
It was
said,
funny.
he goes, "I'm a straight man with 2 kids and married, but if Henry Cavill ever kidnapped me and said his computer specs in his Geralt voice, what am I to do?"
So I've actually got a comic coming to me here soon that, well, not soon, actually. I got to wait a bit, but it's a reprint of the very first issue of Superman showing up, right? And so it's that iconic one where he's holding the car right before it hits the cement. So if you remember, that's fine. If you don't, that's okay too. But anyway, the thing about it is that it's got it's a silver foil cover. Now, a lot of comics get made with foil, but this is legit silver,
Oh,
minted
like
silver. So
$9.25.
it's not like a $10 book. We're talking hundreds because of it being a metal.
Did you pay?
I can't say, but it wasn't as much as what it's going for. And
but
so I was
that's not the one.
this is
you're
not
talking
it.
about.
No,
Yeah.
no, this isn't it.
That's
So I was like, man, so that'll be good because you can send that off to get graded and they'll encapsulate it. And then the girls will have that. And so I'm really excited about that. And then here's the second one.
What is that?
So this is a
Ghost
Ghost
Rider
Rider. So there's a new series that came out this month called Ghost
Ghost
Rider
Rider.
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
And this is the Ghost Rider cover, but it glows in the dark.
Oh, I read. Let's see.
And then there's the Wolverine cover.
Oh,
Nice with his,
I think so. Yeah. And these glow in the dark too. So I was like, sweet.
his
Love these
adamantium
Love these covers,
spikes.
oh, Chon said, "Okay, Mr. Dollar Sign."
Dollar bills, y'all.
All right. I'm done. That's all.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, I do have to go because we do our family phone call with Miss Kiki tonight. So
Okay.
that's always fun because she tells us about her day. So let me tell you where she's staying and then what we can cut it. But she's living in a co-op. So she has her own room, but she has to share a restroom. Like
Ooh.
2 or 3 other people, I think.
I hope they're clean.
And
people.
then, so part of living in the co-op is they have to participate in cleaning cooking duties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's had to clean the restroom, she had to clean the kitchen, and then part of their rent goes towards the groceries. So, and there are people that just said they want to be cooks, so they cook supper for them. So she gets to eat supper for them.
Oh, like legitimate cooks?
Yeah, like people will want, not like, well,
Oh, just household cooks.
household cooks. Yeah, they're
Oh,
like,
okay.
hey, I've
Nice.
cooked for my family. I'll be one of the cooks. And then they have a recipe or they have a calendar of what's going to be eaten. I think tonight she said it was lentil soup or something, vegetable lentil soup.
Oh God.
Yeah, so I was like,
Mom used to give us that during Lent season when we couldn't eat meat. I was the worst.
Like, I just brought my own hamburger beef.
right, yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
I'll just be over here by myself. Yeah.
I'm just gonna fast.
Yeah. And then the other day she had chicken, potatoes, and butternut squash, and I was like,
Oh, butternut squash is good.
you would never eat the chicken and potatoes whenever I would cook it.
Because you
And she
cooked it, Dad.
pretended like she couldn't hear me for some reason, and
She got static. Yeah. Weird.
the connection.
It was hot.
Bad or something. I don't know. But anyways, she's enjoying it, and I'm missing her like crazy. But so
Aw.
and go.
Okay. Well, tell her we said hi.
We will holler at y'all later.
Okay.
Bye.
Be good. We'll see ya.
Bye.
All right, Sandy, I want to hear your story. Or
Well,
whatever
no,
your
it was
last
just
thing was.
my last thing that I wanted to share with you guys. So I saw some sketchy stuff going on,
Mhm.
like regarding photography, modeling in particular, about like
okay.
photographers looking for models. Okay.
Okay.
So I just have a couple of things that I wanted to share. I mean, not a couple, but just a few things.
Sure.
A scout, a legitimate photographer helping you build your portfolio will never message you on Snapchat. Snapchat is kind of sketchy. I mean, are you with me on this one?
Yes.
Because messages can be deleted. Like they delete after 24 hours automatically. Not that you did it. Also, a photographer will never message you at odd hours. Like anywhere from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. That's off limits.
Yeah. Majorly off limits.
No, just say no. They will never make you uncomfortable. A good photographer should never make you uncomfortable.
I would even go as further as say a decent photographer shouldn't make you feel uncomfortable.
Right. They should never tell you about an outfit change or to bring skimpier clothing. Okay.
Cochinos.
And personally, in my opinion, a photographer won't go by a fake name.
Like what?
Like your name is Jamie Pina. And you would go by, let's just say, Jeremy Gonzalez.
Okay.
Something that's like so far removed from your name.
Wait,
you see what I'm saying?
Jeremy Gonzalez removed from?
It's so far removed from Jamie Pina.
But how would we know? How would you know that that's their real name or not?
Because that's why you go through great lengths to hide yourself if you're hiding from something.
But how would you know?
You don't know.
How does a consumer know?
The reason that you would know is like if you try to look them up like on LinkedIn, or if you try to look for a website or anything that, because you should be doing your homework and you should be doing background checks and making sure that you're at least running the name through like mugshots and making sure that they're not on there for any criminal activity.
Okay.
If you are going to be doing provocative photo shoots that involve less clothing, you need to keep yourself safe. You see what I'm trying to say?
I think so. And there are people that do that. I didn't know about it until I really started talking to Joe here on the show, I think. What do they call it? Boudoir?
The boudoir. Yeah.
And I thought it was silly at first, but then there's some friends who've taken it, not saying that they're silly, but I was like, oh, it's real. Okay.
Yeah, no, no, very real. These are just They're either for boosting a portfolio, they're for a gift for a loved one. I mean, some of them have
A
done,
very specific loved one, folks. A
yes.
boudoir photo does not go to grandma for
No,
Christmas. Kind of thing.
I mean,
Okay.
unless grandma likes that sort of
Let's
thing.
say
With
an
some families,
intimate loved one. Okay.
or several intimate loved
Or
ones.
several. Yes, yes. You
I
know.
mean, you could have a
Hey,
Rolodex full.
look,
Listen.
polyamorous people need love too.
I mean, they sure do, more than one. Anyway,
Lots of love.
I should be able to search up your name and find a picture of you, is what I'm trying to say when I tell you that your name.
I completely agree with you on that. On any business, not just photographers, any
Uh-huh.
business that is legitimate should be searchable, and findable.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there should be no like, why can I not find their name somewhere? That
Because
should
I
not be
want
the
to
case.
be like, man, this is a picture Sandy took. Like that's my friend Sandy that took that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
Like, okay, it's okay to have a nickname. It totally is. Like you can have my friend San took this picture.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah. My friend Jay Pineapples. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just be careful if you're out there looking to do a risque photo shoot. You're not going to do it in the
Did you
back
have
of
a bad
someone's
experience with your
car.
risque photo shoot?
I didn't,
Oh, okay, that's good.
fortunately. I mean, because I didn't have one, but
You didn't end up on a Netflix special, so that's good.
on the Netflix. Oh, and I wanted to tell you, you asked me what we've been binging.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's what we were supposed to talk about today.
yeah, we were. Well, and you brought it up earlier about what you had been binging with the Good
Yes.
Doctor and the Resident.
Mhm.
But I wanted to share with you guys, and this is, I didn't know this going in, and I've talked to everybody till I'm blue in the face about it. But you guys need to watch Project Blue Book. It's on Amazon and it's on Roku for free. Like you don't have to pay anything. The only bad thing about it is that it only has 2 seasons and they didn't renew for a 3rd season. But it is great. It is based on true. It is dramatized true stuff, and you'll find a story about Lubbock Lights. If you guys have not heard of the Lubbock Lights, you'll find a story in there.
This series was from 2019 to 2020.
Oh man, I'm the freaking Late Show.
I know. I thought it was like this year, Sandy, or something.
No.
So.
It's an old one. It's an old one.
And it was on the History Channel.
Yeah, History Channel. It has some really cool things in it that I was just like, oh, what? And then Cade has recently gotten into Seinfeld. I didn't watch Seinfeld.
I didn't either. I was not a fan of it growing up. When everyone else was all into it, I was like that.
It just came on like after bedtime for us.
Really? It just never caught me for anything.
It never did. But now Kate and I will watch it and we're just cracking up. We were watching it last night, as a matter of fact. And I'm like, so before, because I forgot it was Wednesday, we were going to do a show. We just got back from dinner. I was like, hey, we want to watch some episodes of Seinfeld. And he's like, yep. And I was like, wait a second, I have a show. So anyway, that's what we're watching now. We've revived the Seinfeld stuff. And it's pretty funny. He says some funny things in there.
The guy who created that show, Larry David, he has a show of his own that's on HBO. And I never would have really known about Seinfeld until I watched that show. But that show is out. It's so funny.
Larry David?
Yeah. It's so bad though, but it's so funny.
So have you heard that oh my gosh, what's its name? Jerry Seinfeld. Have you heard that he's autistic?
No. Interesting.
And he doesn't get sarcasm. He doesn't understand it. I read something.
I mean, I can't say that makes sense because I don't even know the guy a lot. You know what I mean? I don't watch his comedy and stuff, but
me either.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, he just was never my style. It never really caught on.
He's kind of like dry. Well, what's the word? I don't know if it's dry. There's just something about it that's different.
I got a word. I'm just not going to use it. So
what is it?
I can't use it. I can't use it.
Boring?
But it's not bad. It's just, yeah.
It's not your cup of tea.
Yeah, it's like when everyone else was listening to Foo Fighters and Red Hot Chili Peppers. I was like,
oh, I love Foo Fighters and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
So when I grew up and when I turned into an adult, now I like them. Now I rock out to them and jam. But when I was a kid, when they were the thing going on around town, not the same. And what was the other one? The Kurt Cobain group. Same
Oh,
thing
Nirvana.
there.
You know,
Yeah.
oh my
I
gosh.
was
I
not
love
a
me some
Nirvana fan or whatever.
So
fan.
probably one of my most favorite episodes, and this is one I remember from a long time ago. So they go over, one of their friends has a baby, and the baby is ugly. And they're just like,
I feel like we've had that conversation before.
and they're just like, he's breathtaking. He's breathtaking.
Yes, we had, because I
so
told you, I tell people
similar.
when I see babies like that, I'm like, oh, look, it's a baby.
Yeah. And we're just like, oh, God love. Anita, I always share that story with Anita. God love.
Really?
That was a response from one lady talking about my friend's baby. She was like, oh, God love. But anyway, I thought it was so funny.
So, there's a funny thing about Seinfeld. In every episode, there's a Superman somewhere.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't remember who told me that. It was pretty recent, though. And I was like, oh, yeah. I knew that much at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But when I do watch the clips of it, I do think it's humorous. I think there's some pieces where I'm like, yeah, it's great fun stuff.
Yeah. It's like stuff that when we were little, it would have just gone over our
Yeah,
heads.
exactly. And I think that's what it was. Is maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I loved Night Court when I was young.
Night Court.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag God love. So the funny thing is Anita gave me, I can't remember, it was for my birthday. She gave me a gift, and the little rocks said God and love on it. And I don't think she didn't know the story, so I had to tell her the story behind God love. And so now they're on my desk every day. I see God.
Oh,
love.
she did.
No, she bought them unintentionally, and I had to share that story with her.
But she got them for you, and the connection wasn't there prior.
No, the connection was not there prior, so that's why she knows about God. I know, right?
Yeah, that's so funny. That's so funny.
Anyway,
awesome.
I need to bring my doggos in. They're like barking. I'm like, oh my God, can y'all hear them?
Let's get that heat out of the way. All right, everyone. Well, we're going to be back in a week. Well, at least Sandy and I don't know. Joe sometimes forgets.
I don't know about Joe. He's going to be.
He comes in and then he leaves. Comes in after the show starts. It's like he considers this a job. He comes in late and then leaves early.
And I bet he probably had dinner before he showed up here.
Freaking guy. And I'm starving over here, running late to the show, and I'm like, I haven't eaten tonight. My stomach hurts. So yeah, I'm gonna go eat something. But everyone, we hope you have a great night. We love you. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we will see you next
everybody.
week.
And remember, live, laugh, toast your bath.
You filthy animal.
Yeah, wash your hands again.
Otra vez. Please, lots of times. I just can't stand it. It's so gross when you don't wash your hands. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what kind of animals?
I don't know. Bye, everyone. Love y'all.
Bye.